So hello and welcome to the Altrincham Football Club Season Awards for the 2019-20 season. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, this is the first time that this event is taking place online. We've got a packed event for you that is scheduled to last between 45 minutes and 3 hours, 1 hour. 45 minutes and 1 hour. Right, my name is Brian Flynn, and in just a few minutes, we're going to be announcing the winners of the 6 awards that we're making for the season that's just ended. The awards are Young Player of the Season, Players Player of the Season, Goal of the Season, Club Person of the Season, Managers Player of the Season, and Supporters Player of the Season. But before all that, let's hear from our manager, Phil Parkinson. Phil, I referred to the season that's just ended just now, but our hopes have been raised in the last few days that we might still have an opportunity to win promotion through the National League.
You certainly have. Obviously, the news from the EFL with teams getting promoted and relegated breathes a fresh breath of life into our hopes of maybe affecting our promotion dreams, but we can only hope that does filter down into our league. I mean, it's not looked great for a long period of time, but we've held on to that. The lads have been extremely professional. They've been furloughed for a long time, and they've looked after themselves. They've trained every week in their own time, doing things off their own back. They've been absolutely outstanding from that viewpoint, and we can only hope that we get that opportunity to take this team into a promotion, playoff contention place. So we're in the mix. We'd love it to happen, and we hope that we can do that.
And whatever happens, there's a lot to look back on with pride since we kicked our first ball in anger against York City back in August.
Yeah, there's lots of things to be proud about this season. I mean, you look right back at the start of the season when we were able to retain this great squad. Everybody would probably look at it and think that were they just a one-season wonder? They gained promotion from the Northern Premier League into the Conference North, and to finish fifth at the first asking was a real top achievement, and we all enjoyed last season. Seeing it on the documentary back and back again was absolutely thrilling for everyone. So for me, it was really important to retain that squad and sort of stuck by our values of rewarding success, and they've done it again, and they finished fifth again. Had a fantastic FA Cup run. I mean, to beat the teams we did on that cup run was phenomenal, really, if you look back at it. And we had some great teams to play against, like Chester. I mean, Hales Owen, when you look back, was a huge pitfall for us. But again, when you look at how well they've done in the FA Trophy, it was a really good win away there. And then obviously Southport and York. And then, unfortunately, Portsmouth was just a step too far for us. But what a great FA Cup run! And then to finish fifth at this point in the season, obviously we don't know. We could have finished higher. To replicate the league finish that we did last season just fills me with pride in this team, and the belief that me and Neil in particular had that we did the right thing in retaining this squad. So when I look back through the season and you look at the spine of the team in particular, I know everyone's played the part, but I look at the spine through from Tony Thompson through to Jordan Hume, ever presence throughout the season, right through the middle, Jake, etc., Josh, Willow, people like that, the centre halves. And obviously everyone's played the part, but for me, the spine of the team did absolutely outstanding for us this season, and everybody else in and around that has played the part, and is a big reason why we did so well. Behind the scenes as well, people who go above and beyond the call of duty. I mean, you look at the medical team, Tommy Yoder, Ryan Spencer, Ryan Murray, they go the extra mile to make sure the lads have everything they need. Mark Bushill with his statistics that he gives out every week to us. Fozzie and John, I mean, the things they do to prepare the kit to make sure the lads have everything is absolutely outstanding. When we talk about Fozzie, obviously, you talk about memorable moments in the season. I mean, Gateshead away where he's falling down falling down on the running track, chasing after a ball for the lads. I mean, just little things like that stay with you for a long time. And I know that will stay with Fozzie, falling down on that steeplechase hole. But he did ever so well for us all season. And I must also point out things that people forget as well. I know I've only got a short space of time, and I know the lads are probably going, here he goes again, he's going on and on. But I think it's really important to remember people who can't make this chat today, and because of illness and things like that. Stephen Drench, really suffering with his appendix at the moment, really ill. And he'd love to be on this chat, and he would love to have contributed even more to this season than he has. And I'm sure he would have if he'd remained fit. But Mark Eckie as well, a fan fighting cancer, and everybody contributes to this season, and everybody contributes to why we did so well this season and why we've done so well since we've been here. And it's important we remember that. And I know everybody's going to touch on that today, but when you talk about pride, I take great pride in managing this team, being part of this football club and hoping to move it forward into a better place.
And Altrincham Football Club was described in a recent article as being one of the most upwardly mobile non-league clubs around. And it's great to see such progress both on and off the pitch in recent times.
Yeah, well, you just look at the board of directors that we've put together. I mean, forward-thinking people. Every time I go to any kind of convention or anything where we get a public forum, me as a manager, and I know Neil and everybody else involved feel the same way. We're just inspired by everything they're saying, the forward thinking. They back me and Neil and everything that we want to do, and they've just been absolutely fantastic for us. And when you see the plans for the future, I know some people will say it's pie in the sky, but it's not. You've got to have a dream. This club's a big club, and it's got big ambitions. And the way we're going at the moment, I personally want to stay part of it for as long as possible, and I'll fight tooth and nail to remain in my position, as all my players will, because we love being here and we want to be part of the future plans of this football club.
Thanks, Phil. So let's crack on with the main feature of tonight's event, the 2019-20 season awards, starting with the Young Player of the Season. And this, all people who are under 25 are eligible for this award. And to announce the top three in this award category, we've got a former Everton Football Club Academy Player of the Year from way back in the early years of this millennium. It's our longest serving player, Sean Densmore.
Thank you, Brian. So in third place this year, he came to us midway through the season, and the biggest compliment we can give him is that he come into the place some massive players for us, and Willow and Ringo were injured at the time. And apart from his first game where we got a bit of a spanking, he was different class for us, and in the nicest possible way. I hope we don't see him next season, because that means he's kicked on and he's playing in the Football League. So in third place for us was Josh Lundstrom. Well done, Joshy lad. In second place, this lad's probably had his best season for us. He joined 3 years ago with 12 months on now from his little relegation party that he had with FC United. But you know, he swallowed his pride and realised he made the wrong decision when he chose to go there. But he's scored some massive goals for us this year, especially in the FA Cup, and led the line great when George didn't play, and helped me out playing double right back a couple of times against York and Portsmouth. So in second place is Mr. 10 Pints himself, Tommy Pearce. Well done, Tommy lad. Cheers. And then the winner, again, scored some big goals for us this season. Not sure where he was in the goal scoring charts in the end, but I think, you know, if all the players would have had to vote for Young Player of the Season, I think we'd have ended up with the same player winning this. So the winner this year is our very own Tom Jones, the Pride of Wales, James Jones. Well done, James, lad.
Right, well done, James. Let's have a quick word with James now. James, you've been with Altrincham 3 seasons now, and 3 very good seasons, but I think this has been the best one for you.
Yeah, I think I've been building slowly. I think in the first season, I played about half the games, maybe a bit part of the team, but I think, you know, I've been trying to step up year on year, and I think I took another good step last season, and you know, my plan this year was to be consistent for the whole. Obviously we didn't reach 40-50 games in the end, but to try and be consistent for as long as possible, and you know, I like to think I've done that this year.
And was there any particular, you scored a lot of goals particularly early on in the season, was there any particular goal or game that you'd highlight as your highlight of the season?
I think goal would be Telford. That was a really good one, and I don't imagine that'll happen too often for me. So really enjoyed that one. And then probably favourite game, I mean, the best experience, you'd probably say Portsmouth, but the actual best game's probably, I think, York away in the round before where Tom scored, where I think we were really starting to find some momentum. And it was just a really good performance from the lads to go away to the then leaders. So probably that was the favourite game.
Okay, thanks, James, and congratulations, James Jones, Young Player of the Year. So let's move on to our second award. It's the Players Player of the Season, and it's going to be announced by our team captain, El Capitano, Jake Moult.
Cheers, Bri. Obviously, this award, I think, as players, we all want to win. Most say it's the most important to be recognised by the other players, and the player that's got it this year has just shown so much consistency throughout the 3 seasons again that they've been here. Scored some massive goals, and I think his work rate certainly doesn't go unnoticed by the lads. He works incredibly hard and gets his rewards. So this year, the winner of the Players Player Award is Josh Hancock. Well done, Hank.
Well done.
Cheers, boys.
Congratulations, Josh. Josh Hancock, Players Player of the Year. Let's have a few words with the man himself now. Featured, of course, in that big feature on Bruntwood and earlier this week. So you're a star of stage and screen now, Josh. And you've scored some fantastic goals for us this season. Like James, you've been at Altrincham for 3 seasons. And like James, I think this has been your best one.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. Obviously, first of all, just a massive thank you to all the boys for voting for us. Obviously, as Multi said, it's probably like the best award to probably get, and obviously over the moon for that. So yeah, thank you very much. But on the actual season itself, yeah, it's probably been my standout season. I'd say probably just based on some of the goals and stuff like that, and yeah, just keep going. So cheers for that.
And what's your big highlight of the season? You've scored some fantastic goals, but anything particular stand out for you?
Obviously, even though it probably wasn't the best goal, probably the penalty at Portsmouth was probably the standout one in terms of like the emotion and stuff like that, and celebrations and stuff. So I'd probably say, yeah, as I say, that's probably the best one for me.
And how much pressure was it on you at that moment? Because I think we were all bricking it.
Sorry, I'm just looking at these pictures of Tony there with a box over his head. Yeah, no, I was absolutely cacking it. I'm not going to lie, but luckily crept under the goalkeeper. So yeah, I was over the moon with it.
Okay, thanks very much, Josh Hancock, Players Player of the Season. So thanks, Tony, for contributing this evening. Let's move on to Goal of the Season. And we've been blessed with many special goals at Altrincham this season. There were no less than 22 nominations scored by a dozen players, probably the highest quality selection of goals that we've ever had for this award. And here to tell us which goals received the most votes from Multi fans all around the globe is our assistant manager, Neil Sorville.
Cheers, right. Okay, before we run through the top 3, we're just going to mention 3 goals that polled a lot of votes, but didn't quite make the top 3. So James Jones at Telford, which he just touched on again, fantastic dipping strike from distance. Andy White at home to Curzon. Again, I think that goal came from winning the ball back straight from a kick-off and working the ball to the edge of the box for Whitey to finish. And then Tom Piers at Southport, again, great through ball from Jordan. Percy's took it well and finished. So that was 4. That was the 3 goals that polled a lot of votes but didn't quite make the top 3. Okay, so in reverse order, the top 3. In In third place was Josh Hancock's goal at home to Blythe Spartans. Again, those who were at the game have seen that goal. Unbelievable strike from Josh. Travel with the ball 25, 30 yards out under a strike. Second was Sean Densmore at home to Hereford. I think that was the last goal of the 5-1 win. Again, fantastic team goal, that one. Couple of good bits of movement from Denz. And again, a clever little through ball from Jordan to allow Denz to finish. That takes us on to the winning goal, which was Tom Piers away at York in the FA Cup first round. Again, probably the significance of the game was really important because this was the goal that took us to Portsmouth in the second round. Again, goals come from I think a diagonal longer ball from Mullarkey out to Jordan, who drifted out to the left, and then he's teed it up for Tom, who's finished with his left foot against something that he doesn't use very often, but he worked a good effect on that day. So well done, Tom.
So Tom Piers, winner of goal of the season for his strike in the 83rd minute in the game at Bootham Crescent in the FA Cup at York. Tom, fantastic goal, and tell us what was going through your mind as super sub Jordan Hume set you up there on the edge of the area.
I think it came as a bit of a surprise, to be honest, when probably the fans seen the team sheet that was starting over Jordan Hume, but we had a game plan that day and I thought we stuck to it quite well, and then obviously Jordan came on and set me up for the goal, so it all went to plan in the end, and luckily me and Jordan linked up and I managed to put it in the top corner of my left foot, which I don't usually use, like Soph said, but it went to plan that day.
And again, like James and Josh, you've been at the club 3 seasons, and again, like those two, I think this has very definitely been your best season at Altrincham Football Club. Yeah,
definitely. I think the FA Cup personally for me was probably my highlight bit of the season, where I scored a few goals and scored some important goals in that FA Cup as well. I scored at Halesowen and Southport, so it was an enjoyable part of the season, and then I'm disappointed it ended early because I thought we had a good chance to sort of kick on and maybe get promoted, but it's ended how it is, but we'll go again next season.
Right, well, very well done, Tom. Winner of the goal of the season, and there were some fantastic goals this season, so that is a major achievement. Congratulations, and thanks to Neil. Now, there's no physical presentations tonight, but we will be making presentations of all of these awards at the first game at the J. Davidson Stadium when we do get back to playing football. And the next award that we've got is for the Tom Early Trophy. So there is already a physical trophy for this award. This is for the Clubperson of the year, and this will be presented by members of Tom Early's family when we get back to playing football. And to announce this, here's Bill Waterson.
Thank you, Brian. The last few months have clearly proven what a magnificent set of fans we have. We've asked for your support, and your response was way beyond our wildest dreams. The media team have then performed brilliantly to replay some of our finest recent matchday experiences, and again, the fans stepped up to support us brilliantly. But amongst our fans is someone who over the last 2 years has put Alty back where we belong, on the national stage and at the heart of the community. His initiatives have seen the club recognised across the country and even further afield for our commitment to inclusion and diversity, particularly with the Rainbow Shirt campaign, upon which we've continued to build this season. He won the Football Supporters Federation National Game Award and sits on the National Committee of Football vs Homophobia. Our club person of the year is Jordan Timms.
Right, great stuff. Thanks, Bill. Jordan Timms, club person of the year. And Jordan, first of all, you're a fan. I mean, you've got a role at the football club now, but tell us about your history as a long-standing fan of Altrincham.
A long-suffering fan, Brian.
Not recently.
Not recently, no. So I've been supporting the clubs probably since 95, 96. Saw some obviously the last bit of the conference in 97, and then some of the dark Unibond days. Big rise back up with under Lee Sinnott, and then obviously the last 3 years have been fantastic under Phil and the lads. And yeah, it's just my local club, and proud to be involved.
And how did you get involved?
I I think it came out of the 5-year plan report, and one of the things was how we could get more involved with supporters and how we could become more inclusive as a football club. And it was something that I had an interest in already, and I think it was myself and the late Jackie Forster decided to get involved and try and become the club's first inclusion officers and try and make our support space more inclusive. And it's just ran from there, really. The board have been really supportive with every idea that we've come up with. Phil, in particular, never says no to anything. And obviously the lads, anything that we've asked them to do, have really took it on board.
And we're sort of recognised for a number of things in terms of inclusion and diversity. Which is the most important one to you?
I was proud. I won the Ian McKellen Award at the Bolton Pride Awards last year, and I think for me, that for ourselves and the club to be recognised by such a great man in any community as Ian McKellen, I think that was a proud moment, and it was certainly surreal having to do a speech stood in front of him. I can tell you that.
Right, that's great. Congratulations, Jordan. Clubperson of the Year 2019-20 for Altrincham Football Club. So, thank you. Let's move on. Thanks, Bill, for announcing that award. The penultimate award is the Manager's Player of the Season. This, of course, is going to be announced by the manager.
Manager's Player of the Year. Obviously, consult with my management team. It's a very tough decision. There's some obvious standout candidates. I alluded to the spine of the team being very strong this season. You go from Tony Thompson, who's been a colossus for us. Tom Hannigan again. I know he picked up awards last season. James Jones, Young Player of the Year. I think we all saw how much we missed Jake Moult when he wasn't playing at the start of the season. Josh Hancock obviously getting Players Player, being outstanding, and Jordan being Jordan, scoring loads of goals and being very creative for us, and obviously keeping us in the eye on that podcast, so he does well for us there, Jord. But on a serious note, it's got to be one of the three immortals for me at the football club. So obviously Jake's done ever so well this season, but for me, everyone talks about what a great player Sean Densmore was. I think Sean Densmore still is a great player, and he's proved it again this season. And for me, he's Manager's Player this season without a shadow of a doubt. He's come back from a really serious injury. The first season I was here, where I'll be honest, I was clearing the decks. He fought tooth and nail to stay at the club, and I knew about his reputation, but I knew about his injuries. And it was proved to be the best decision I ever made, along with Neil, to keep him here. He trains unbelievably well every single session. He sets an example that all the players will follow, integrates other players into the team really, really well, as long as the scouts. But he looks after everyone, and his performances on the pitch this season, when we've played well, Sean's played well, and some of his creative runs that he's made, it's like he's 21 again. I said Jake Moult, getting better with age. Sean certainly is, and listen, they represent, especially Sean and Jake, Ringo, those types of players, everything that it is to be Alty. And I take great pride in saying Sean Densmore's Manager's Player of the Season this year. Well done, Sean.
Thanks, Ron. Fantastic. Thanks, Phil. Sean, well done. Manager's Player of the Season. And it has been a great season for you, but it didn't start very well. You were out of the team at the start. I think your first game was at Boston, and that didn't go very well at all. But from that point, superb. And as Phil said, you've been like a spring chicken. You have been playing more like a 21-year-old than a 31-year-old or whatever you are. But what's it been like from your point of view this season?
Yeah, it was 42 degrees when we played Boston, Bry. You didn't mention that bit. But no, it was obviously Whitey and Ampo started the season. So it's just one of them. You just got to stay patient and keep trying to train well. But obviously disappointing with the Boston game. But then I'm not sure when it was when I got back in after that. But just managed to. Sometimes it can take you a little bit of time to get up to speed, but I managed to settle in quite quickly and just kicked on after that.
And you achieved second place in goal of the season with that terrific strike against Hereford. A fantastic move and a brilliant chip from Jordan Hume. A number of other players involved as well. But Jordan must have heard you coming, because you've just burst past him, and it was a perfectly timed run. Great goal.
Yeah, if he weren't muted, he'd tell you how much I scream at him all the way through the game, Joe. To be fair to him, he's one of the few players who does actually slip you in now. Anks just wants to shoot as much as he can. Appears he's just got his head down looking at the ground. So to be fair to Joe, at least he can actually see someone making a run and slide you in. But no, it was a good goal, it was a good move. I think most of us were involved in it, to be honest. Probably 7 or 8 of the players managed to get a touch. Yeah, as you say, obviously the system we play lets us get forward, so should really probably score more than I do, to be honest with you. But no, that was obviously one of my best ones, so just can't believe I didn't win the award. But never mind, Brian, you can only win so many, can't you?
Exactly. And finally, Sean, it's been a really good season. You played in a lot of, well, you played for 12 years for Altrincham Football Club. That's a number of different teams, but this team has played some fantastic stuff.
Yeah. This is, to be honest, we were watching the games back the other week where we got promoted. I used to think we played decent footy then, but watching it back, it wasn't actually that good as well as I remembered it, to be honest. But we obviously play some good stuff, and it's credit to the gaffer and so for the way they want us to play, and give us the license to play out from the back. Even when we're either struggling for form a little bit or having bad spells, and within a game, we stick to what the principles of the gaffer and Saws are. So no, it's a pleasure to play, and so I just want to say thanks to both of them for giving me the award. So yeah, nice one.
Okay, well done, Sean. Congratulations, Manager's Player of the Season. So let's move on to our final award. It's the Supporters Player of the Season, and that's going to be announced by our online polling and social media guru, Andrew Flynn.
Cheers, Brian. No pressure. And thank you to everyone who took the time to cast a vote. It was actually the best turnout we've had since we introduced the online survey. There are over 400 votes, one for every continent apart from Antarctica, which is some going. Truly international football club. We asked fans for their Player of the Season, a runner-up, and an honourable mention. So the Player of the Season received 3 points, the runner-up received 2 points, and the honourable mention received 1 point. In comparison to other seasons, the points were actually quite evenly spread this year. In fact, eight players scored over 100 points. So big shouts out to Tony Thompson on 104 and to James Jones on 158 points. Okay, so moving into the top 5, we had last year's winner, Tom Hannigan, on 215 points this time around. And in 4th place was the skipper, Jake Maltz. That's 249 points for Malty. But ultimately there does have to be winners and losers. So if we move into the top 3, in 3rd place, very well deserved, still flying up the right on those overlaps, we've got the Manager's Player of the Season, Sean Densmore, 256 points for Sean Densmore. 2nd place, deserved winner in 2017-18, runner-up last year and runner-up again this year. Let's have a drink for Jordan Hume, 339 points. Well done, Jord. So yeah, it's my absolute pleasure to announce on behalf of all the supporters that this year's Fans Player of the Season, with 482 points, bit of a dramatic pause. It's Josh Hancock, obviously. As Multi touched on, he delivered time and time again this season, worked his socks off, and scorer of huge goals in huge games. Well done, Josh. Well deserved.
So congratulations, Josh Hancock, Supporters Player of the Season and also Players Player of the Season. So Josh, I can remember when I came down to training, it's just before the Portsmouth game, and I was talking to, I won't embarrass the person I was talking to, but I was talking to a member of the backroom staff, and just talking about the Portsmouth game, and that obviously we're going to have to raise our game, but I thought that we had players who could do that, and there were I was talking to a couple of members of the backroom staff. One of them said, yeah, we've got plenty of good players who I think who can play at that level, but the likes of Josh Hancock can comfortably compete at League One level. So that's quite an accolade, and an accolade for you and testament to the quality of football that you've produced over 3 years, but particularly this season.
Yeah, I'm probably not too sure about that one, Brian, but obviously I appreciate the kind words. Obviously, just a big thank you to all the supporters for voting for us. I definitely didn't expect that. Felt like I got a bit of stick from the fans actually from giving the ball away too much, but obviously the hard work pays off. So yeah, massive thank you to them all for everyone who's voted.
The thing that strikes me about, or that I think is different about you as a player, and it's been there all the time that you've been at Altrincham Football Club, and no doubt beforehand, but I can't remember a player who is so good at playing on the half turn and creating space. And I remember one particular, it happens all the time, but one particular game at Chester last season when we won 2-1 when Jordan Hume scored twice, and they had a pretty poor midfield that day, but you were just all over them and creating space left, right and centre. And that's a massive advantage for you and for the team, and a big feature of your play.
Yeah, I don't know why. I seem to perform better when I've got a man up my arse, and kind of what Tony says all the time. But the more time I've got to think about it, then it just doesn't seem to go too well. So yeah, when I've got someone out my arse, it tends to work out better.
Okay, well, congratulations. That's a major achievement to win Player and Supporters Player of the season. So it caps off a great season for you. And as you mentioned in your interview that was online earlier this week, hopefully you should be celebrating promotion by now, and you never know what lies on the horizon.
Yeah, I think it's one of them where we're keen to probably finish the season. Obviously, it'd be great to finish the last 3 games, then maybe go into the pre-season. So fingers crossed we can finish it.
Okay, thanks, Josh. So that concludes our awards for the evening, and we're going to take the opportunity now to recognise a couple of people for their huge contribution to Altrincham Football Club, one on the field and one off the field. And so I'd now like to hand over to our future co-chairman, Bill Waterson and Lawrence Looney.
Thanks very much, Brian. We're now going to focus on our chairman, Graham Rowley, and properly recognise the massive contribution he has made to this club.
I'll just think of, Graham, as many will know, has been on the board for 20 years, which is a huge amount of time, and he's led the club as chairman since 2011. His first contribution way back 20 years ago was actually to save the club. At that point, the club was in significant debt and probably on the verge of maybe even going out of business. Graham, with the rest of the board, pulled together. They raised a significant amount of money and they paid off the creditors pretty much one by one. It would have been very easy back then to probably take the easy option and maybe fold the club and restart. But Graham and the board were absolutely desperate to keep it going, and their dedication paid off, and that's where the club is today.
And his lasting legacy for the club will be the community sports hall. This has transformed our finances and has been a major factor in putting the club where it belongs, right at the heart of the community.
Yeah, and as many of you will know, that Graham has decided to step down from chairman and from the board, and he's handed over to Bill and I, who are extremely proud and excited to be taking this great club forward.
But the values that Graham has espoused will remain at the heart of our club: integrity, fair play, community spirit, and paying our way. This club will achieve our ambitions, but we will never live beyond our means. Our growth and our progression will be sustainable.
Yeah, and as a board, we wanted to absolutely recognise the contribution that Graham has given the club. 20 years, 11 as chairman, and we really thought hard about how we could do that. We wanted Graham to stay with us going forward. He still works extremely hard every day for the club, and we want to continue with Graham on the journey with us. And therefore, we've agreed as a board to appoint Graham as president of our football club. And I'm absolutely delighted that he has accepted.
This is a fitting acknowledgement of Graham's impact on the club succeeding Noel Wright in this role. I'll now hand over to the man himself, who has a further special announcement to make. Our President, Graham Rowley.
Thanks so much, Bill and Lawrence. I'm absolutely delighted to accept that the role of president of our great football club. The big shoes to fill, those of Noel White. But all I can do is promise that I'll do my very best, that, as I always have done, to further the cause of our football club. The other thing I want to talk about today is another great servant for our football club. It's a player. I think he's already been mentioned quite a few times already. So, a player who's been with us since 2008. Made 390 starts and 28 substitute appearances, scoring only 29 goals, but some good ones along there. And for a team, he's still bumming forward every opportunity he gets. He follows in his father's footsteps by coming to Altrincham. And I'm, of course, talking about our very own Sean Denzil. The board have decided that Sean will be awarded a testimonial in the year 2021, whenever that may start, for his fantastic services for the football club. Obviously, we don't know when this game will be played, but when football restarts, we will make sure that the Sean Denzil testimonial match is in the calendar.
Thanks.
A big thank you to one of our best. Thanks ever so much. And congratulations, Sean.
Yeah, big congratulations to Sean Densmore. Thanks, Graham, for that, Mr. President, and congratulations on your appointment. When it was announced just then, that was exactly the phrase that I was thinking of. They are very big shoes to fill, following in the footsteps of Noel White, but that's great news. And Sean, do you think this means that you might actually be the best person in your family that's ever played for Altrincham Football Club?
Not unless if John the Kitman's still on, John still won't say I am, because he still goes on about my dad to me. So no, blown away by that a little bit, to be honest. Just want to say congratulations to Gray as well. Obviously, he's been here ever since I've been here. He's been different class with me, and obviously, if you asked any of the lads or the staff, they'd say the same. Obviously, the work he does on a match day and during the week, but even little things like he used to come and fly out to watch me when I played a couple of times for the England C team. You know, people don't know like what other things he does apart from just his day-to-day role within the club. So that's obviously very well deserved. So just want to say big congrats to Gray as well.
And it's quite interesting this. I can't remember the last time an Altrincham Football Club player was granted a testimonial, but I think it might go back as far as the early 1980s. So that is a long time. So this is quite a big decision that the board have made, and you know, perhaps we can get you up against a Stuart Coburn 11 or something like that.
Yeah, as I say, I'm blown away by a little bit, to be honest. Obviously, Stewie, I always give him a bit of stick, like, because he left, didn't he, for a year or two. So I don't know whether he is actually entitled to one, considering he left. But no, it was, as you say, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I'm a little bit taken aback by it, but I've loved it ever since I've been here. That's why I've stayed so long. And yeah, I don't know. I think Tony's desperate to get a game looking on there. But if it's only between him and Stewie to see who can play in goal, so I suppose we'll have to pick him.
Okay, Sean Densmore, 12 years at the club, fantastic achievement, and granted a testimonial. So congratulations, Sean. You've been taking over this award ceremony. Well done, testimonial.
Cheers, right.
Fully deserved. It's time to look to the future now, as we look forward to next season with one of our incoming co-chairmen, Bill Waterson.
Thank you, Brian. Once again, I'd like to thank all of our fans for your magnificent support over the last couple of months. Your generous donations and support have given us the tools we need to continue the forward progress of Altrincham FC over the seasons to come. Even though there has been no football, the board has been incredibly busy. Firstly, underpinning the stability of the club through the COVID-19 lockdown, and subsequently now planning for next year and beyond. We made a commitment at the last Meet the Board to move this club forward, and despite the impact of COVID-19, we're determined to honour this pledge with concrete action for the 2020-21 season. Next week, we'll be formally announcing our plans for the first steps towards the Moss Lane 2030 vision by outlining the work we will do over the summer and how this will be funded. We will also be launching our campaign for outside investment in the club by selling the remaining shares available from our 2018 share issue. This money will be earmarked for our major projects and to fuel revenue growth. We will be accelerating the drive to digital with greater use of e-ticketing, more frequent content-rich email newsletters, a new e-commerce site replacing the online club shop, and we're exploring the potential for live streaming if football resumes, but behind closed doors. Despite the lockdown, we will be launching the Altrincham FC Academy next season. We have been accepted into the National League Football Academy, and we will be making further announcements about this shortly. There's a lot going on, and we're determined to hit the ground running when the National League football resumes. We still do not have a clear view on the next steps, but we will keep you all posted. Once again, thank you for your support, and hopefully we'll see you all in the not too distant future at the J. Davidson Stadium. Over to you, Brian.
Thanks, Bill, for that insight into what's coming our way, and that brings our awards event to a nice positive conclusion. Congratulations to our award winners, and thank you to each and every one of you for watching tonight and helping make Altrincham Football Club the great football club that it is. Good evening from us all, and thank you once again.
Jake Malt spreads the ball out wide to find Jordan Hume, still fuming that he was on the bench this afternoon, but brings it down incredibly well with his left testicle. Finds the ugliest man in non-league, Tom Pearce. It's Pearce! What a finish! Didn't think he had that in his locker, and from the looks of the fans' reaction, they didn't either. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, well, at first I thought it was actually Jordan Hume's right testicle, but it was in fact his left to bring the ball down. Incredible skill. Finds Tom Pearce on the edge of the box. I think everyone's anticipating it to go into row Z, but uses his shin to guide it into the top corner. An incredible finish from the lad, an incredible goal. What a game it's been.
Involvement from further players.
That is a fantastic idea, Mr. Brian. I completely agree with what you say. Why don't we end this awards ceremony with a fantastic day?